Hello YouTubers and welcome to another Soup Monday, another day where we get the opportunity to start our week off right, because remember, look good, feel good, roll good. And today, as you can tell from the title, we're at Caversham at the British Rowing Training Centre to do some training to get away from the high river and the choppy water. So an awesome opportunity to get a little bit more focused and a little bit of technique. So first things first, we need to get on the water. Oh yeah.
Someday we could finally be.
And we've made it out of Caversham after a pretty good session on the water. Great to be on the lake rather than on the choppy water at Henley. Actually, it feels less choppy than Dorney Lake, but we were pretty early this morning, so that's going to help get the water nice and flat. But now, as always, after a session, it's time to fuel up, because remember, food is fuel. And obviously, I know when I say choppy water, it's not that choppy at all, especially compared to other places that row in the UK, like the Tideway or around the world, and those choppy waters. But like I said, time to fuel up. And we've made it outside of the club after walking Yam. It's got a bit rainy, got a bit wet, but always important to make sure he's out and about and spending his energy running around, playing with some toys outside, but also making sure he's not getting too wet, so drying him off and everything. But now it's time to go do some weights post fueling up. Oh. And we've made it outside once again, still raining a little bit. We've got a brolly this time to keep us dry, but delicious fueling up here at the club post session, because remember, food is fuel. We need to fuel up to make sure that not only are we recovering from the previous session, but we've got enough fuel for the next session to be able to have a quality training benefit, whether it's cardio or weights or whatever it is, making sure we're getting the maximum out of the session. And fuel is a really big part of that. If you're not fueled correctly, then it's really difficult to hold the right intensity through the workout, whether it's in weights, making sure you're doing the right weights for the exercises, or whether it's on the erg, making sure you're doing the right splits. And if you're not properly fueled, those splits or those weights become a bit harder to hit. So in the next week or so, I'm going to talk a little bit more about diet, not only because food is fuel, but diet is really important. A lot of people have been talking about the Game Changers. There's a Netflix documentary on basically being vegan, which is really interesting, it's really well done, but I want to make a video talking about that. And I've asked my friend Training Tall, he runs the Training Tall YouTube, and he is a vegan, so I'm going to talk to him, get him involved in the video, as well as talking about Game Changers, and also just seeing what I think of vegetarian, vegan, athlete, if you have to eat meat to be a good athlete, or if not eating meat makes you a worse athlete, etc. But that is for future Yam Squad to look forward to, so make sure you are subscribed for that. We've got loads of videos coming up as well. I want to get back on the rowing machine sort of educational series. We've got drag factor, we've got what the screen numbers mean, and a bunch of different other things, as well as breathing coming up soon, hopefully before Christmas. And this morning was a pretty interesting opportunity today. So we went back to Caversham, back to where the national team train. The reason we were able to go there is because the national team themselves are away on camp. So the men get to go to Sierra Nevada up in Spain, up a mountain to do some land training, a lot of land training, and the women, I believe, are in Mallorca for a cycling camp, which is absolutely awesome. Both amazing opportunities to train and get fitter, get stronger, especially during the winter. So in Spain, it will be up the mountains, so a bit cold, but most of it's indoors. But in Mallorca as well, also in Spain, the weather should be pretty decent. It can get a bit rainy, but to be out there cycling during the winter is an absolutely amazing experience. So that'll be really interesting for them. But that's why we were able to go to Caversham today, to the national team training centre, and row on the lake. And it just brings back memories of when I was on the team in 2017 of rowing up and down the lake. And it's good to see the place, and also good to be on that water, because the trials themselves, whether it's December trials, April trials, whatever it is, do happen on the water at Caversham, so it's good to get used to it a little bit. So giving yourselves a little bit of an advantage, but we'll see again about December trials. Not sure what's happening there yet, whether we will be invited or not, but all we can do is kind of put the head down and show the coaches how fast we can go, and it's up to them if the speed that we do generate is enough to be invited. But that's kind of, again, for future Yam squad to worry about. Right now, like I've said, keeping the head down, training hard. In the weights room, really trying to approach weights with the attitude of just shifting as much weight as possible, safely and without any injury, of course. And on the water, making sure I'm really improving on my technique as well. And I think I'm going to make a technique video, a rowing pairs rowing technique video pretty soon as well, because I believe that my techniques changed enough to warrant another video like that, and we can talk about, as the Yam squad, if you can see the improvements or if there are any improvements that you may think I need to work on. But that will be it for today's episode, Yam squad. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. A little bit of variation again, because remember, variation is one of the keys to motivation. And as always, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode. Oh yeah!